What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 15 of Wrecked Bike Rebuild. If you guys watched last episode, to say that it was challenging would be an understatement. As a lot of you guys know, without Brian here, I have a really hard time filming and stuff like that, but I'm trying to do my absolute best. So I've done my research, and today what we're gonna be doing is bringing Brian back.
Definitely needed.
Yeah. So, I'm sure a lot of you guys are happy. A lot of you have been very curious where Brian went. And, Brian, should we talk about the conspiracy theories?
I don't think they deserve enough attention, honestly.
Yeah. So, Brian wanted me to go off and learn and figure out things my own way. And, I made it 2 episodes, Brian, and then this happened. So we brought Brian back because we got 20 episodes that I don't want to go over, and I'm not going to be able to finish this bike in 20 episodes without Brian here. So, also, I think Brian's going to be a permanent member of Wrecked Bike Rebuild. He's the official. Brian is here. He's not going anywhere unless he can't come out for some reason. Whatever. We'll deal with that when it happens.
Tattoo convention.
When's tattoo convention?
Next week.
Okay. So we're gonna get a lot done today. Welcome to Wrecked Bike Rebuild. This is a Patreon-funded motorcycle build series here on YouTube. If you want to find out why I give this bike away whenever we get done building it, check the Patreon page out. That's how we fund this whole adventure. Okay, enough talking. We got a lot of shit to do. How much shit we got to do today, Brian? A lot of shit, right?
We got a whole lot of shit to do.
Whole lot of shit. Oh my God, that's more than some shit. All right. We're at a stage where I'm gonna film a lot and Brian's gonna help us get a lot done because we have a lot, yeah. Brian has caught up on all the episodes that I filmed, and I think it's safe to say you're lacklusterly impressed with my work.
You know, for somebody that's obviously doing some of this stuff for the first time, you did okay. For somebody that I know has done some of this stuff already, you did a pretty shitty job. So that being said, we have some work to do. We're going to have to redo some of the stuff that you did before, finish off some of the stuff that you started, and then slam everything in reverse and start the re-strip down of the bike again so we can get the rest of the stuff that's on your list of to-dos completed.
Well, let the filming and the building begin. Brian, something else fun that we have now? Super slow motion. So,
on that camera.
Yeah.
So you don't have to switch cameras and do all that stuff.
Exactly. So whenever we do something really cool, it takes me like 10 seconds and we can suddenly like
click.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
So welcome to that. So what's the first thing? Actually, you know what? Before we get to that, I know that. Yeah, Brian already knows it.
There's so much tension on this right now.
Yeah.
Probably because you don't have this pin set right.
Yeah. So Brian has watched the last episode. If you guys didn't watch the last episode, I put on the rear sets, clutch cable, clutch, and the brakes. Had a panic attack. So, yeah, this is not good.
You want to start with the brakes?
I mean, I'm down. You're the boss, applesauce.
Typically, I start from the back of the machine and work forward. But
always the back?
That's just how I roll.
Gotcha.
I prefer to work that way because usually the front of the bike is clamped down and it's kind of hard to move stuff around. So if I do the back first and then I have to take the bike off and turn it around in my lift and then do the front. But that's just, like I said, that's just how I do.
Gotcha. So you're smart though. If you're working on the front, you put the front at the back so you have open space.
So you can turn the handlebars and jack the front of the bike up.
See, that's the smart thing to do.
Well, you know, you can't work at speed if you're not planning ahead. If you're not worrying about the whole speed aspect of it, you don't have to plan at all. You could work like Chase and have 3 buckets filled with hardware that you have to dig through constantly, or you can plan ahead and hopefully things will go a little bit more swimmingly for you, and guaranteed to have all the right hardware in the right places and not strip out barrel adjusters when you're trying to take stuff apart. And
I don't know what Brian's talking about. I think he's just talking shit now. Okay, so let's start from the back and work our way forward.
Okay, so we can tackle this thing first.
This guy?
So we'll get your rear set off. You did a pretty good job with the rear set. I know you had some trouble putting this spring on.
Yeah.
Not fully understanding where it goes.
Yeah, so about this whole spring situation.
So pretty much where this spring goes is it slides over this arm, rests up against the body of the brake master cylinder. So when you step on the pedal, it pushes the spring, and you let it go, it pushes the pedal back out into its original position.
Gotcha.
You told me earlier that you had some trouble getting this end over this side.
Yeah.
So what we'll have to do is take the cylinder off, take off the adjuster, slide it on, put the adjuster back on again.
Is this how fast you work at work?
No, I'm slowed down a little bit right now.
Oh, just shut up. There's no way you just like all day at that rate?
Yeah, all day.
What kind of cocaine do you snort in the morning?
Here you go, buddy.
Oh, right. The legal kind. Sponsored by Just Kidding, not paying us. This is the spring that I couldn't put on there.
Yeah.
Right.
We got it on here, but you can't really get to the adjuster very well. I don't really like how deep this is. I guess that's okay.
I'm trying to figure out where I tried to put that spring because I feel like I'm not that stupid. Wait.
I have no idea where else it could have possibly tried to go. I mean, that's the whole assembly, so.
I mean, I feel like I did try to do it because I remember this little black piece, like trying to put it around that because they're about the same size. Actually, I know what I did. I tried to put the spring on without taking the head piece off, and the thin piece wouldn't go over this guy.
See, even this piece doesn't go over the adjuster nut. That's why I'm having an issue right now.
Yeah.
Unless everything goes over, adjuster nut and...
That's it? The adjuster nut goes on the end?
Yes.
Oh, I see.
We'll have to do the adjustments once everything is together.
What does that adjust exactly?
The amount of free play it should be.
Gotcha. So how much the brake pedal wiggles, basically?
Yes. Which at this point doesn't feel like it's going to wiggle at all. To be explained what the race use only was yet for our friends on camera.
So if you guys don't remember the last episode, I told you that the Woodcraft rear sets say for race use only. And then when Brian came in earlier, he was like, yeah, so do you know what race use only means? So
race use only means that there is no place to put a brake light switch. So you're not going to have a rear brake light switch, so when you step on the rear brake, the light's not going to come on. Unless you get a pressure switch, which replaces this banjo bolt. So when you step on the pedal and the brake fluid goes through the master cylinder, puts pressure on the switch and triggers the light. So we'll have to go that route.
So if you guys are like me and you heard that, you were like, oh shit, how much does that cost? But
those pressure switches are like 10, 15 bucks.
Killing it. Where do you buy those from?
Shouldn't be too terribly difficult to find. You can probably get them on Amazon. You can buy everything on Amazon.
Yeah, especially bricks and rocks, right?
Bricks and rocks. They come from Amazon directly. We need some grease. Did you buy grease yet? I want to take that as a no.
Yeah, there's my grease. There's my baby grease. I thought I bought a second one though, so at least I have a whole new one of those.
Your tub of grease should be about this big.
Noted. That is my tub of grease. I just use it also as a candle. Yeah, it's gonna exfoliate your skin.
Are we gonna put them onto the bike permanently at this moment, or?
Dude, yeah. Let's freaking final it up. I'm gonna move this out of the way.
If that's the case, then we need to tighten that up.
Brian's moving too fast. We gotta switch to 60 frames a second.
Torque to spec.
There's a t-shirt that says torque to spec now. Do you know this?
I saw it.
What do you think about the designs, Brian? The whole win it out, mallet out, and torque to spec.
I don't want to offend anybody, But they were a little kitty.
Yeah, they're supposed to be funny.
Oh, okay.
You wanted it to be like cool and badass.
At least, well, the when in doubt, mail it out. I could see it being a little, a little juvenile.
Well, I feel like Torque the Spec had like a garage, like an old garagey vibe, right?
Honestly, I didn't take I couldn't get past the when in doubt, mail it out logo. So I really didn't see the Torque the Spec one very good.
All right, fair enough.
So I don't want to comment on that one.
The only person's feelings you're gonna hurt is mine, because I'm the one that like made the okay of like, yeah, those look okay.
Well then, goddamn it, Chase. My Torque the Spec logo would show broken bolts laying on the fucking ground and blood and band-aids.
Okay. Yeah. There's that. Well, maybe we can make a version 2, Brian. There's no reason we couldn't try to do that.
Alright, so I need the hardware for that.
For which one?
To hold the brake pedal back on. It should be that washer and nut.
That should be... Oh, because this is the OEM stuff. Yeah. Well, okay. We'll see.
So that's the OE one.
Mm-hmm.
Which you have right here that you've taken apart into a million pieces, so you don't know where this is.
Exactly. Now we're here to this part. This is the ones that came off the original bike, and those are the ones that I bought extra. But if we can find it in either of them...
I found it already.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
How? Wait. How? Well, how'd that happen?
I know what I'm looking for. The thrust washer.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, Brian. Like we don't know what kind of washer is it?
Thrust washer.
Like we don't know what a thrust washer is, right? Guys. Wait, was it on the top?
Yeah, pretty much.
Son of a bitch.
Put it back
I
in
think
the
I
bin.
found these and I was like, oh dude, that's totally it. And then I just like gave up after that.
If you see how close this is to here,
Yeah.
that's part of the adjustment.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So before we're done, we'll have to take this and adjust this out so this brake pedal comes down to about there.
I see.
Which now would probably be a pretty good time to at least do some of that adjustment.
So to adjust that, you just take that screw up and down, or?
Yeah, you need to pull back on the spring. Work the adjuster in. Yeah, that doesn't seem right.
The whole spring thing?
I don't like it. Because, as you compress it, trying to move the adjuster, then it gets harder and harder to, because it's already compressed.
Yeah.
So it's harder and harder to move. That should be low enough, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, because if you're already pivoted up and your foot's already going to be down.
That should do. Yeah, I like that. I'm good with that.
I got WD-40. I saw the judgment on
Your pliers, your pliers don't know that you have WD.
If I was one of those really extra YouTubers, I would go to my cabinet and just spray WD-40 all over the wall. Just to like do it way more than I actually should.
Bolts are gonna like 33 foot-pounds. Yeah, they're too shallow. Where that goes in,
Yeah.
it's not deep enough, so it's wanting to turn on the end of the bit.
You can feel that. Look.
Yee, shit.
Yeah.
So what's the best route for that?
Well, stop tightening it before it strips.
Gotcha.
You know, it's already got Loctite in it. It's just something that you're going to have to inspect on occasion.
Yeah.
To make sure that they're still tight.
When in doubt, mail it out, bro. Or just use your hand.
Or just use your hand.
That's your shirt. When in doubt, never mind, just use your hand.
Just can't forget your toolbox.
Right, your hands. All 10 tools, right?
Hammer, screwdrivers, and pliers right here.
Right.
On occasion, they work as wrenches, depending on how tight stuff is.
I was about to say, I think I've seen you use your hand a couple times where
to loosen stuff.
my little baby hands would not have worked adequately.
Mechanic hands are nice when you're a mechanic. I think I've said it before, I could probably crush walnuts with these things. So.
Are you that big of a fan of walnuts?
No, I fucking hate walnuts. But I don't know if you ever tried to break a walnut shell. They're kind of tough.
You know, Brian, I've never had myself in a position where I'm trying to break walnut shells.
So these are the people that help you make decisions, correct?
Yes.
So you people here, 2017 or 18? 17.
17.
ZX10R is going to be hooked up with some really cool race shit. Do we want it set up as regular shift or GP shift? Now, when Chase was putting on the rear sets for the first time,
Yeah.
we're going to go round 2 right now, but for the first time, he had mentioned that this arm was upside down from the stock one.
Yeah.
So right now, this bike is set up as GP shift. If you don't know what GP shift is, instead of 1 down and 5 up, it's now 1 up and 5 down. Reason behind that is so when you're coming out of a turn, you can start clicking through the gears without sticking your foot under the lever and clipping it off on the ground while you're at a steep lean angle. That's why they do GP shift, by the way. If you guys want to, I don't know which camera to look
Here,
at.
let me make it easier. Let me make it easier for you.
Here.
Okay.
So if you guys think it should be GP shift, let us know. Standard shift, let us know, and we'll go from there. Sound good?
Ladies and gentlemen, Brian is over here being genius with the people that make decisions on the bike get to decide what shift it is. If you're not familiar, if you're on Patreon and you're in the top tier, that's a live stream. We live stream this build shit. You get to see the entire shit show of a process. Well, not so much when Brian's here. And you get to make decisions. Okay, back to Brian doing shit because he's quick as fuck.
So after you loosen everything up, we'll go check the live stream chat.
See what they have to say for us.
Yeah.
We'll go from there. So while you were taking this thing apart, I noticed that you took the rear set off and then spun it off of this arm.
I sure did.
The easiest way to take this off, if you're replacing a foot peg on your own,
Yeah.
and you need to take this off to replace the foot peg, instead of having to completely readjust everything when you go back in through your adjuster rod, the easiest way is just take it off of the spline for the shift shaft. And then you don't have to mess with any of the adjusters and nuts and all that other stuff.
Right.
So this is one of those little things that if you're doing this at home on your own machine and you don't want to wrestle with having to readjust your shift lever position, you just remove it from the shift rod instead. This was one of those instances when I was watching you. I'm like, don't do it, Chase! Yelling at my television while I'm watching you take this thing apart. Don't do it! Don't! Oh, too late, he did it.
And then you're watching me sit there and just be like this.
Yeah. With the whole rear set in your hand, like,
Yeah.
drop it once, drop it again. I'm like,
I'm not gonna lie.
Or in the moment, I was like, I can't really see Brian doing it like this, but you know what?
it's coming off.
It's gonna come off, and at the end of the day, nobody's gonna be able to tell how I took it off. So, yeah.
Except for the fact that you filmed it and then posted it on YouTube, so everybody knows how you took it off.
Well, see, Brian, I'm just saying, if the job gets done, does it really matter how it gets done?
Not at all. Absolutely not.
There you go. Now, will you get shit for it on YouTube? Maybe.
Most likely.
Probably, yeah.
everything about these rear sets. It's just so nice.
Tell me, Brian, why?
Thank you, Woodcraft.
Yeah, tell me why Woodcraft. Like, what is nice about
Just
this thing that
the
you're
fit and finish and machining and assembly of everything, how it all goes together is so simplistic, but yet pretty at the same time. I can tell you this, they may look simple,
Yeah.
but there's a ton of R&D in these.
Yeah. I will say, as a non-educated rider, they do look like very simple. So
Simple is good though. That means that when you crash your bike on the track, you can get it brought back to your pits and you can reassemble it and have it ready for the next race before it starts. That's part of the thought process behind making a race rear set that works well, is it needs to come apart easy, go back together easy, be able to replace the parts that are easily breakable when you crash quickly without having to replace the entire rear set assembly.
torque to spec for sure.
Click.
Is that your?
Yeah, click.
You just click.
That is an ongoing shop joke when people just use impacts to tighten shit. I don't do that.
Of course you will.
And it's kind of disgusting when I see other people do it. It really does almost make me angry.
So what they just like impact gun it until it's in?
Done.
They don't check it or anything?
No. I mean,
Wow.
there's a lot of people out there that are working for speed more than they are working for accuracy. Okay, so did you want to check the feed to see if they're regular GP shift?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we have asked the live stream and it looks like we're going regular shift. Worst case scenario, if the person that got the bike wanted GP shift, that wouldn't be really hard, right, Brian?
Not easy enough to change.
So if you end up getting the bike and you don't want it normal shift, you GP shift, super easy, you don't have to buy anything extra. It's literally like one screw. I could do it, so that should tell you everything you need to know.
So originally when you took this thing apart, it was already set up as GP shift. I went into the manual just to verify, and the way Chase had it installed was the correct way from stock. So it is set up stock shift, 1 down, 5 up, and we're ready to continue forward. I've Loctited all my hardware, and then I went back to the other side because I forgot to Loctite the actual pedal hardware, so I did that on the other side as well. We're torqued here, we're torqued here. Now we can move to the front brake.
Front brake? Oh, the... I don't even want to talk about this.
Hopefully we have everything we need.
And if not, we got plenty of other bullshit going on,
Yeah,
so...
we have plenty of stuff to do.
I'm really interested at what happens here, Brian, because you saw the episode. I was having a rough time.
I was also very much questioning your decision in putting 2 different types of levers on this machine.
Really?
Yes.
Why is that?
Besides the aesthetics, here is this really nice breakaway CRG lever. You know, so if you fall, it does that.
Yeah.
Right? Cool. But if you crash the clutch side, you snap off a carbon fiber lever. So that's kind of one of the things where it's like, well, if you're going to crash on either side, you're going to snap a lever off.
Yeah.
Both sides or
So
one side,
are you saying that I should have just gone with 2 breakaways instead of having the fancy carbon
Can you
shorty?
get a direct fit carbon for the brake side? Because I've seen carbon levers go on bikes without changing the masters.
I don't know.
So you probably could have gotten a carbon replacement for this side, and it just would have worked, especially with Brembo.
Yeah.
Because they're a high-end company, so there's a very good chance that you could get a carbon lever to fit in this master.
Yeah. A lot of people were thinking that this guy got this bike and upgraded the Brembo brakes, but that comes...
No, ZX10s come with Brembo.
I wanted you to say that because there's stuff that comes out of your mouth.
It's a full Brembo setup. So it's Brembo here, Brembo here, and it should be, no, it's a Nissan in the rear. So, but do you have the rear brake caliper laying around somewhere?
Should be right there.
Yes. This is a Nissan caliper as well. So all the front brakes are Brembo, all the rear brakes are Nissan. From what I've seen over the years, that's That's about right. Suzuki does Brembo masters and calipers now too.
Yeah.
So I can't see why Kawasaki wouldn't do it. Although Yamaha does not, because Yamaha's brakes are fucking fantastic from whatever it is, whoever company they're using. It's the best stock factory brake system.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, so are they better than Brembo's? But
They're comparable for sure.
Really?
If you take a stock bike to a stock bike, Yamaha to any of the other 3 big Japanese brands, Yamaha's front brakes are going to win.
No shit.
Their brakes are incredible.
I did not know that.
They have the best feel, the best feedback.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed that the new R1s, they went to 4-piston calipers.
I did not.
They used to be 6. So they realized that they had too much brakes on the bike and they downgraded so it's lighter.
Yeah.
And they can do a smaller 4-piston brake setup and it still brakes as well, if not better than everybody else's.
That's insane.
Yamaha's front brake system is killer. But I don't know if it's the way that it's mounted or how they run shit or what the deal is, but Yamaha's brakes are just out of the crate phenomenal. Okay.
Whoa, you totally faked me out with the camera. I was over here just trying to pan with you and like, fuck.
I forgot where I put my little 10mm wrench.
Brian, I didn't screw anything up, okay? I did everything to spec.
I fucking watched you fuck that thing up, screaming at the television. Don't do it! Loosen the set screw, please! Oh, too late. When you started turning it, shit went loose. I'm like, all right, it's junk.
I don't want to hear things like that.
So, for those of you that watch Chase fuck the football, trying to get this thing apart.
This thing.
If you could see that little tiny, that is a really, really small Allen set screw.
Are you serious?
It's a 2mm or a 1.5mm set screw.
No.
So all it does is it screws in and it puts pressure on the thread so the adjuster doesn't vibrate in and out while you're riding it. So as you were turning this thing, it's like, why isn't it working? Then all of a sudden it got loose. That set screw rubbed all the threads off. So that's why it just spins and doesn't go anywhere. Pretty sweet, huh? Don't worry, don't feel too bad, Chase, because I've actually broken one of these on my own bike before I knew how they worked.
So what do you,
You can get any one of these. I don't know if this transfers to that lever though.
Okay, my fingers are so tightly crossed right now.
So I'm not exactly, I mean, it looks like there should be some sort of pin that goes here. If it's not, I've never seen one of these levers off of the bike. So, I mean, I've seen bikes with these breakaway CRGs on them, but I haven't put a set on. So not very many people are willing to spend that much money on a lever.
Wreck bike rebuild.
There you go. Only the best.
Only the best. I mean, it would make sense, though, to invest in a lever if you're going to have a bike for a while. You know? That the lever's not going to get screwed.
Well, you never know. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
About putting expensive levers on is you really don't know what's going to happen. You could, good intentions, take your bike out for a ride, stop for fuel, go inside to get something to drink, and somebody pulls into the parking spot, didn't see your bike, knocks your bike over, breaks your $200 lever. You know what I mean? It's like, you never really know. Not saying that you shouldn't put nice stuff on your bike, but this might be the wrong lever for this bike.
No, that's the thing I don't want you to say.
Because, you're tall enough to see the model on the top of this?
Yes.
What is the model number on the top of there?
Looks like 6P116.
So this lever is for an RCS master cylinder.
What's RCS?
That's the model.
Oh, so this would have to say RCS?
Yeah, most likely. So,
Is there any way that this could say RCS? Maybe I'm reading 6P116 incorrectly.
because I have to tell you, I've been doing some recalls on Brembo master cylinders that come on some of the Ducatis right now.
Okay.
And their style of plunger pin
Yeah.
that goes in there is different than the one that's on this bike, but looks like it'll fit that lever.
Interesting.
It's a different style of master.
If I order another brake lever, is it going to come with the little thing that I screwed up?
You need to make sure that you're ordering a lever for this year make model bike.
Okay, so when we're done filming, I think me and you'll get on
That's
Revzilla, and that way... well, this is okay. This is a little okay news, because that means that all that fuckery I did wasn't totally...
Now, sometimes when you buy a lever, it comes with that pin and barrel.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to order it.
Gotcha.
Extra. And it's another one of those things where it's not that expensive.
Gotcha.
Because it really is just, a little adjuster that goes in the lever. So.
Okay.
But they come disassembled, so you know that you can't, how they go together.
Yeah.
So you can't strip them and destroy them like that. But I'm pretty sure that, the type of lever that you got here does not have the barrel on it. It's just a pin.
Yeah.
So the pin fits into this rubber boot, right? Pin fits in the boot, and then the other side of the pin would fit into that block.
Yeah, exactly. That's what was throwing me off.
Yeah.
Because like I installed it with that little pin kind of just resting in that area.
Right.
And I'm like, if the lever ever bent up a little bit or got pushed forward a little bit, it could fall out. And I was like, there's no way that's correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Back to your home. All right, so we're screwed on the brake for now.
Yes. Screwed on the brake for now.
I'm gonna put that there.
This is the official parts that were ordered that we end up not needing bin. Oh, we got to show the people the new bin that we created earlier.
Yes, because there was just too much shit on the floor. So I
Yeah.
asked Chase for a bin to put the stuff we're no longer using in.
That we've taken off the bike already.
So here's our nice started pile
Look
of
how beautiful, guys.
shit that's not going back on.
Obviously sponsored by Ride Apparel Co. Go to rideapparelco.com to get any positive motorcycle riding apparel. Hey, my own company can sponsor my own series.
You are
right?
absolutely allowed to pitch your own company. Here's some more stuff that we can throw in the bin.
Oh yeah, guys, just don't worry about the carbon bits over in the corner. Just pay attention to Brian throwing shit.
We can't move forward with the front brake.
Okay.
Yes.
I do have a question. Yeah. So
you're fucked. So how do we rectify this? Is your question?
that is my question. Yeah.
So what you need to do is very, very simply follow this wire out to where it plugs into the harness.
Okay.
Unplug it and test the switch and see whether it's open or closed when the
Okay.
button is pushed in or out. That
Okay.
will let you know if you need to put a jumper wire in the plug for the clutch switch.
So, what is a jumper wire?
You're just going to connect one wire to the other
Uh-huh.
to fool the bike in thinking either the clutch is pulled in or the clutch is let out.
Gotcha.
So, because this machine has gear shift indicator and traction control and all kinds of bells and whistles, you're going to have to make this bike think that the clutch is out all the time.
Gotcha.
Because if you have it pulled in, it may not let the bike rev. It may not, it may do some weird things because
Yeah.
it thinks the clutch is pulled in all the time. It doesn't think that the transmission is engaged and you're actually going down the road. It confuses it, so you get like check engine lights and shit like that.
Gotcha.
When you don't have a clutch switch, it just means that the bike will only start in neutral. And I was giving you a hard time before about having a breakaway lever on one side, not on the other. Technically, this is sort of a breakaway perch.
Oh, okay.
So the white plastic bushing that goes on in between this and the handlebar is to allow this perch to slide on the bar.
Oh.
So if it takes an impact, it's not just going to snap the lever, it's going to push the perch down because it has a little bit of room to slip
Gotcha, I see.
on that bushing. I saw you tighten this thing up pretty good,
Yeah.
and we're probably going to have to back those out just a little bit.
Yeah.
Otherwise, when this thing falls over, it's going to snap the lever.
Yep.
It does clear everything. I might actually turn this down just a little bit so it's not so close to the switch.
Yeah.
And honestly, once you get on this thing, you'll be able to tell, but most sport bike riders like their levers low.
I assume that's a feel thing, like once you get on there.
Like how much lower your levers are compared.
Yeah. That's a
You
good
know what I
point.
mean? So when the bike is down here and you're sitting on that clutch lever is like
Oh,
here in the
shit.
air.
Yeah, you really don't notice it until you look at this and then you look at the Triumph.
How far down that's not even the clutch side. The clutch side is a lot of times even lower than the brake side is.
Interesting.
So
Next is oh wait, so are we gonna loosen this up, or you think we're good?
We'll wait until we get it down.
Okay.
So we can loosen it, set it where it needs to be.
Gotcha.
Instead of doing it now and then doing it again later. And
the old game.
Right.
All right. So what's next, sir? Do
we start digging into the box of parts, or?
We have the rear reservoir that we can do.
Yes. This is the reservoir?
Yeah, man.
Look at that crazy looking fucking thing.
Right? Crazy cool.
You just paid like an extra $10 for this thing because they had to put it in a plastic case on top of the blister pack. You know what? Not my garage.
That one's gonna be on the top, so that's gonna replace this guy.
They're both exactly the same.
That's because that's the only one available to buy. Oh God.
Okay.
I don't like your paws.
I just don't know if it's too big. Because the rear ones are usually about half the size of the
I tried to find a smaller one. Yep. Here's the stock one.
That's the front one? That's the rear.
That's the rear stock.
You know. Brake fluid.
I just assumed we could find a good spot.
Now, not a real huge deal. I'm kind of just fucking with you a little bit.
Oh, okay. Thank Jesus Christ, Brian. Fuck me. I'm over here like, damn it. First the brake.
Sweating already?
Jeez. I don't like that you're getting good at this game of like, hey, let's see what I can get away with Chase. Damn it, guys. Brian has experience now.
So a lot of guys will not even put a reservoir on. They'll just run a hose about that long, a clear hose. And they'll fill it with brake fluid. And that's all the brake fluid they run.
Is that just, I mean, why? Weight? It can't be weight.
Crash the bike, reservoir doesn't break off.
You can really do that?
That's all the brake fluid. I mean, you really don't need what's in here. This is to make up space for how much brake pad you've used.
Yeah.
So if you're only running a half an hour at a time, and you've used brake fluid, you're not going to use everything that's in that hose in half an hour, no matter how hard you are on the brakes. So when you get back to the pits, if you've used some of it, you just top it off.
Interesting.
And it's just a hose that only holds like an ounce.
Yeah.
And that's all you need.
I gotta admit, my mind is blown to know that if this hose was what, like 3 times the length, that would literally hold enough brake fluid?
Yeah. I mean, your brakes would still work. I wouldn't ride your bike for 10,000 miles with that hose on it. You would need a reservoir. But like I said, if you're doing a half an hour of race time, let's say a race is 10 laps.
Yeah.
You know, most racetracks are less than 3 miles a loop.
Yeah.
So 10 laps at, let's say, 2.5 miles, 25 miles, you're not going to wear your brakes down in 25 miles to take up all that fluid. There may not be much left in the hose when you're done.
Yeah.
But you're not going to aerate your brake system and have brake failure in that amount of time.
That's pretty cool.
It's I've seen it in more than one bike.
Yeah.
So it is something that racers will do.
Yeah.
Other people that do it are stunt riders because their bikes fall over and get crashed all the time.
Fitting this thing back there is going to be an interesting game. I did realize that when ordering. I tried to order a different one and they were out.
I don't even know where the reservoir is supposed to hang.
So typically it was in this little area right here. So I feel like it would just be right there.
So it goes like this. All right, so now we're to the point where we're back looking at the manual.
Doop boop boop doop boop boop.
I just think that this bolt that we have in here is I'm just going to connect this hose just to keep it out of my way for now. We can't fill the brake system or any of that until we get the pressure switch.
That's what I was about to say. If we're gonna get that new switch, should we wait?
We can still put the reservoir on.
Okay, and just not fill it up with brake fluid.
Correct.
Gotcha.
We don't need this either. This could go in the bin. This too.
I'm gonna get really good at my panning action shot.
to show you this little note that I just read in here that you probably should have read when you were fucking with the brakes.
Oh God.
Notice! Do not adjust the adjuster. That has a bad effect on the brake operation. If turn the adjuster, the brake master cylinder assembly must be replaced. So that is a set to spec barrel and pin, and that is not an Allen in it. It's a roll pin. So it's hammered in place and it's one and done. You cannot disassemble that pin and barrel assembly that you tried to take apart. So there you go. Does that make you feel a little better?
It makes me feel a lot of things, Brian.
Better's not one of them?
Well, see, this is where people are going to say, well, if you'd have just read the manual, you wouldn't have had so many fucking issues.
They wouldn't be wrong.
Is this your favorite? This is going to be your favorite part of this episode, just throwing things.
I like getting shit out of the way.
I see you. Well,
heel guards, mirrors. Don't need those. We got that. That's the hardware mounted. Now let's see if we can figure out how to make all this shit work. How big this is, and how small the bore is.
Holy shit, dude! There's like nothing in there.
So this is probably fluid-wise the same amount of fluid that goes in this little tiny thing right here.
Yeah, because this one's all container. Dude, I would almost say that is bigger than that.
It's a little bit shallower though.
Oh, I see.
So it's probably pretty close to holding the same amount of fluid. How do you feel about making shit?
Making shit?
We're gonna have to make a bracket to hang this thing on here.
Dude, let's make a bracket.
Okay. We should have some steel for brackets that we're no longer using in our bin.
This is why we have our bin.
That's a little thick.
So guys, we're working on getting the rear brake reservoir installed. We don't have a bracket that will necessarily fit, so Brian's idea was to, when in doubt, make it. So we're grabbing random metal parts from the extra bin. We're gonna see how this goes.
Nope. Well, maybe if I do that a couple times.
Are you trying to cut that off?
Yes.
I mean, we could, Oh shit, my leg!
You just cut it off.
Fucking hell! I don't know if the camera got it, but that shit literally pegged me in the leg.
So this is gonna go.
Dude, that's a thick piece of metal to cut. Holy shit.
Mechanic's hands.
Right?
So we'll drill a hole in it so it fits on the bottom of there.
This is just a thought process that I don't typically go through, man.
Right?
I mean, it works, yeah.
It's good. That'll do it. That is plainly flat on top. We will have to nut that. And then that goes here. And we can just put that little bad boy right fucking there.
That's gonna look pretty cool in there, though. Gotta say. You about to cut this again?
Yep.
Holy shit. Let me get my head.
I'm gonna step away from the bike when I do it too. Look at you.
I just don't want to. I don't want to get hit in the balls with this fucking flying piece of metal right now. I kind of want to do this to the lens just in case like anything flies.
It'd probably be smarter to use a slightly larger pair of these. I get a little bit more.
No, yeah, absolutely. Oh my god.
There it goes.
Okay.
I don't know where it went to. It's over here somewhere.
Wait, the one we need?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
You heard it, right?
Yeah, I did. It's right there. Do you know how lucky you are that it didn't that it didn't go like
just like that. You got a marker?
Yeah, I got a marker.
We're just gonna make some marks here so we can trim some stuff.
How you feel about that, Brian?
It's okay. It'll need some finishing touches, but
Did get the job done?
for the most part.
I think it's safe to say, kids, don't do the things you're seeing in this video at home alone. Brian is a trained professional and can make better decisions than you. So I would not recommend. Well, I just don't want a kid to be watching this and be like, "Oh man, I'm gonna go grab my dad's grinder wheel and I'm gonna go cut some metal pieces to fit to my motorcycle," and then he loses a freaking finger or something.
Right. So this needs to be finished, but we need to drill a hole in it too.
So guys, what we're doing now that just kind of happened today is the new camera, we're filming, like the files are so big, we have to dump the card every like hour and a half or something like that. And while we do that, it takes like 10 minutes. So while we do that, Brian sits here and answers questions for people in the live stream. So I'm gonna add that to the rewards on Patreon for the top level people. Cause like having access to a good mechanic to ask questions to, that's pretty cool. So if you guys want to ask questions to Brian, we're going to start doing little Q&As during the build streams. To get the build stream, you have to be at the top level on Patreon. There'll be a link in the description. But yeah, new free stuff.
New free stuffs.
I guess it's not free. I don't want to be one of those companies that's like, you can get it for free if you spend $10,000. And you're like,
how's that free?
it's like, I'm pretty sure money's coming out of my bank for this to happen. Anyway, okay, back to where we were. Oh wait, we have cool shit to show. Okay, so Brian.
So this is the start of my little bracket here. It's still in very rough form.
The bracket project.
But as I was kind of just loosely mounting this up here, it kind of didn't seem to fit real nice. And then of course this big giant nut is hanging out here. So instead I kind of just gave it one of these. And give that just a little tiny snug so it stays where I want it to. And now we can kind of just... That looks much nicer to me. What do you think?
That is, here, let me get on the other side.
That's gonna fit in there real nice.
That looks really fucking good. For grabbing a random piece of metal and
Just kind of sticking stuff in there.
yeah. And then guys, we're gonna get the top part powder coated to the kind of highlighter color situation, so we'll have a little pop of that in all of this black. Dude, I hope you guys can understand that we literally found a random piece of metal and made that happen. I assume you don't do that often though, right? Like this is a rare...
Not where I work now.
Okay.
But I spent many years working in a shop where we were making shit work. And that's what I refer to this as, making stuff work.
Gotcha.
you go. There's your first reservoir.
I'm gonna give you a high five on that one, man.
Yeah.
Because that's the only, like, we're not gonna have to make a custom freaking piece for this guy. So.
I mean, honestly, you wouldn't even have to touch that bracket right now. You can't see it. It's aluminum. It's not going to corrode. You don't need to paint it. You don't need to powder coat it. You don't really need to do anything with it. It could just stay.
Yeah. Do you think we should? Well, I mean, I don't even think you need to sand it because it's so.
Yeah, I mean, it's so tucked away. Nothing's going to touch it. You know.
Like, literally from right here, I can't see it.
Don't get me wrong. Just in my mind, I'm going to take that thing off and clean all the edges up because I know that there are teeth marks in it from the vice grips.
Yeah.
And I know that the edges aren't smooth, so for me that is not acceptable, even though you can't see it.
Yeah. For me, it would be acceptable. For you, a person that has higher standards,
not acceptable at all.
Got
I would
it.
have to take that thing off and sand all the edges nicely.
Gotcha. I guess we could go ahead and install that one too, right? Because if we're not gonna,
well, if you have the right stuff to drain the brake fluid, you do. You have a mighty vac, right?
yeah.
So we could drain the reservoir, or the master cylinder and the reservoir, and then from there we can try and mount this other one. I did have a young man come and see me at the shop,
Oh shit.
and he literally, and I was very happy that he did wait for me to come back for a test ride so he could say hello.
No
So if you're
shit.
out there and you're watching this, thank you for coming to say hi. I did appreciate it, and it was not something I'm used to, but it was kind of cool. I liked
Wait, hold on. So you were like, obviously it was a work day. You were there,
Yes.
and you had finished a bike, and you were out
For a
test riding it.
ride. Just before I got on the bike to test ride it, one of the parts people came to me and said that there's a young man in the showroom that would like to meet me
No shit.
because of Wreck Bike Rebuild, that he was a fan.
That's so fucking cool.
So he and his father
Yeah.
waited for me to come back from my test ride so they could say hello before they left. And they were literally like on their way out the door when they found out that that was the location that I worked at. And I was very thankful and impressed that they would wait.
Yeah.
It was really cool. Thanks. Put a smile on my face. So, do we want to tackle reservoir number 2? So if we do, then we need to bust out the Mighty Vac and drain the brake fluid out of it and see what we can do on that. Because who knows, we might have to make another bracket.
I feel like you want to make another bracket. I think you're proud of your first one.
Honestly, I would much rather be doing this with my toolbox.
Yeah.
Because I'd be able to start and finish in one sitting. Like this bracket would be done. Wouldn't have to touch it again. You know what I mean? So,
Gotcha.
making stuff with like bare minimum hand tools is never easy. Like trying to cut that bracket with a pair of dikes instead of having a vise and a cutoff wheel and
Interesting.
shit like that. So it's definitely easier, and they come out better when you have the proper tools to do it with.
Yeah. Do you want to move on to something else? And
It doesn't matter. I mean, we can go here if we need to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just not real sure how this bad boy is going to mount on here, because the way this bracket is already set, it may just drop on, and we could be done with it.
Okay.
But it looks like this bracket that the reservoir is bolted onto needs a little bit of love. It's been bent up a little bit, so we're going to need to flatten that out before we know exactly where this is going to sit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I say we go at it, we see what we're looking at, and then we kind of go from there.
All right. Well, we'll start with taking the bracket off that needs some love. More parts for the box.
Whoa! like your little pat, just boop. You're like, okay, good job.
Looks good there too.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. All right, front brake reservoir is done. We're not gonna fill it up because obvious reasons. Rear one is done with a custom bracket. One moment while I reference the box of parts that we have. Jesus.
Excuse me while I look this up.
Yes, excuse me. Okay, we've decided to just finish the handlebars. So we got the grips out, we've got the bar end mirror out, and we have the what's it called? What's the official term for it?
It's a lever guard.
A lever guard. So I don't know why, but I have a thing for like the bike being different on both sides. So one side of the bike is going to have a lever guard, and one is going to have a bar and mirror. A bike needs a bar and mirror, or a mirror at some point. So we're just going to finish up the handlebars. Obviously, we can't do the brake, but now the question is, what side gets what?
Doesn't really look like you have a choice on this thing. This looks like a left side.
Oh, really? Maybe I made this choice earlier and I bought the pieces?
I don't know, because that looks like it goes like that. If you put on the other side, it'll be upside down.
Oh, we totally have to. Okay.
I mean, it doesn't mean you can't put it on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, but if you flip it though, it looks like it has to. I would rather have that angle down on this side, and then we'll do the mirror on the brake side. Yeah, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Uh-oh, you have...
Reservations to not having a mirror on the left side?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Why?
When you look over your shoulder.
Hold on, let me just assume the position and think about this for a second, because obviously I didn't think about it earlier. Oh my God, camera, come on. Work with me. Okay. Okay, Brian. I'm riding, right? That's just sad.
Poor little tripod is not enough for your badass camera.
I mean, there's worse things to happen in life.
Or we could just do this.
Okay. Alright, so I'm riding, right? I got my throttle on my right side. If I'm gonna look over my shoulder and I have to let go of a handlebar, I can't let go of that.
You get my point?
Actually, I do get your point, but your point, if I'm riding, I can let go of this hand and I can look back and have my throttle.
Which means you would want the mirror on the other side because you can't look over your shoulder as well.
Yeah, but the mirror's going to be on the right side, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're good.
Okay.
Because, yeah, I approve of mirror positioning. I got real worried for a second, though. That Kershaw blade coming in clutch for the grip removal.
Did you see that shit go right through like butter?
That one, oh, that is legit. You know what, Brian, I might have to get me a Kershaw blade.
You should have a Kershaw.
Will I be slightly more of a man if I have a Kershaw blade? I'll feel safer if I have a Kershaw blade.
You get an extra punch in your man card.
Based on conversations I've had with people, I think my main card has almost been removed indefinitely, so I can definitely use an extra punch or two on there. Brian, don't tell me I'm in trouble, please God. It's amazing how all these universal fit parts just aren't universal.
They would fit if this wasn't threaded. It would go right in. But,
wait, could we use the little
it's threaded.
Can we use the tap and die set to cut it wider?
You don't have a tap that big. Or a drill bit that big.
Really?
I mean, look how big that is.
Oh, that's
It's this big.
damn it. So to update you guys with where we are, Brian just cut the grip off. And we're testing out to see if the lever guard will fit into there. This is the little kind of spacer thing situation. And because the inside of that hole is threaded, this will not fit in there. This is a universal fit part. I'm buying these things because they fit the 2017 ZX10. No, like they're supposed to fit that bike specifically.
Liars.
Liars and cheats, Brian. Liars and cheats.
Boats and hose.
Boats and hoses. Any Brian things on that?
There's not really a whole lot we could do about it right now. If we were just to remove the threads from the inside of here, that thing would slide right in.
So is there like a drill bit, a specific drill bit, or a specific tap or die that I can get that's that big?
It'd have to be slightly larger than that. So I might have drill bits that are this big.
Okay.
Instead of you having, because drill bits aren't cheap.
Yeah. Okay, so at this point, should we
Put the
just...
grips on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's put the grip on and then...
Just throw this back together real quick so we don't lose anything.
That's so stupid. Why would something say like, oh yeah, totally fits with blah blah blah, but
does it, goddammit?
like that's the literal entire point of buying something that fits for your bike. Okay, we're gonna come back to the lever guard and we'll just skip that for now. So camera's off. Brian is looking at the grips and he's like, so these don't have any set screws. Yeah, you got any grip glue? I don't even know what grip glue is. Where do you get grip glue? Can I get that at like Revzilla or something?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh. Well, guess what I'll have next week? Damn it, that's another thing we don't...
So I was also going to say here, besides the grip glue issue, this throttle tube is knurled.
Knurled?
It has, you'll see it.
That sounds like Norwald or something. Like, I don't even know what kind of fucking animal that is, Brian.
Do you see these little raised lips?
I do see the raised lips.
So this is going to have a very hard time fitting over those little lips.
Huh. Oh, you're talking about the ins and outs, not these
so
little
much
guys.
here. These are okay.
Yeah.
You know, this one, we just need to take this one off.
Just like grind it down or... Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And as long as we had the glue, it wouldn't really matter?
Correct. Well, you're also putting a bar and mirror on it, so it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, true. Okay. What do you suggest to use to cut that?
I'd probably take the whole throttle tube off and do it.
How do you take the throttle tube off?
You put all the slack in the cables and you split the housing, you take the cables off and slide the tube off.
Oh, right. Because if you open the tubing, the housing, it could...
Okay guys, so Brian has used this little Dremel tool and got the little lips, I guess is what you call them. Got the lips ground down. You guys can see.
There was a lip here and a lip there.
Yep. Okay guys, I'm gonna be ordering grip glue on Revzilla. Brian's just over here throwing anything he can into that bucket.
Alrighty, should we give this a shot?
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, let's explain that. So guys, Brian was talking about bringing a tool, but we were looking at my Dremel freaking all that. And Brian thinks we might be able to use the same little guy and Dremel out a little bit of this to make the lever guard work. So that's what we're gonna try to do. Wish us luck.
It's gonna get loud, so.
Yeah, just hold your ears.
See what kind of headway we're making. That's working though. It's hot, don't put your finger in there. I know you, Chase.
Shut up, Brian.
Did I stop you from putting your finger in there?
No, I was not gonna put my finger in there.
I totally know that I turned my back and you were ready to stick your finger in there. I can almost...
You guys do not listen to Brian. I was not thinking about putting my finger in there to see how smooth they were at all.
Not there yet. You totally were gonna do it. There were
Shut up.
Dremel the damn whatever it's called.
There we go. What do we say, Brian? Safety first.
Safety first.
Right. Brian broke a tip.
Just a tip.
Don't worry, guys. He broke just the tip. We're probably going to break the rest of them. But hey, if it gets the job done, who cares, right? It's just Dremels.
Still spinning?
He broke another one. Dang it, Brian.
Round 3, fight.
Your battery's dead.
Now you killed the battery. Jesus, Brian. I'm gonna give you, I don't know, 2 minutes before that one? Not 2 minutes, 30 seconds.
We're running out of bits here, Chase.
I'm gonna have to add to that orders list of we're gonna have to add freaking Dremel bits.
Round 4?
I'm gonna put in the hole first.
Yeah. It doesn't have like a little oh. Oh, hey.
Okay. Brian thinks this will be the last one and he'll make it.
Not enough speed. Damn it!
But what is about to catch on fire in here? God almighty.
The sanding disc came off and the rubber thing is touching the inside. Look how melty it is.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So we gotta cut.
Don't touch it. No. All of this just to protect the clutch. Insane.
That'll do it. We'll just tap it in the rest of the way.
Nice. So it actually worked.
Yep.
I mean, we still can't do it because then, you know, we need glue and shit.
All right, guys. So this side, clutch side, is good to go. Obviously, we're still waiting for the grip glue, but we are now going to check to see. I'll show you guys the mirror that we got for the bike. It's the go-to bar end mirror that I always use. I think it's called an Arrow. It's got like a really cool shape. I'll show you guys in a second, but we're gonna test out to make sure it can go in this side, just to make sure we don't have another one of these situations where we're trying to Dremel out the threads and all that kind of stuff. So let's check this mirror out.
Yeah, so the mirror doesn't even have the little plug thing. It's just like a bar. But the question is, how do we get that around this situation? Can we like loosen everything and push it up? Is that an option?
Like that.
What?
Put this back in.
Uh-huh. Wait, could we put the other side in? Because
It's in better shape.
it's in way better shape. Does that fit?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you want to.
Well, at least I bought a really easy mirror to put on. That'll make up for the freaking.
For everything else?
Well, I wasn't gonna say everything else.
Well,
I was just going to refer to the lever guard.
Okay, so we're gonna put the mirror on the Wii. That was a good buy. Super easy. Let me show you the shape because this thing looks so cool. I will say, for you guys that haven't looked at the price yet, the Arrow mirror is expensive. Like, hurts my heart because it's over $100 freaking dollars.
per mirror.
Per mirror.
Not per pair. Per mirror.
Yep. But
It is really cool.
it's a dope looking mirror. You can't really see the shape there, but it's got this little like triangular type situation. Obviously we're gonna take it off now, but
Okay, so mirror's
easy enough.
easy enough. Okay.
I mean, you should leave it on there for now. I'm just gonna throw your tools on the floor.
Yeah, why not? Me and Brian are gonna get together and figure out what brake lever to order. And so that next week, first thing is we can just pop those things. Like it's an easy job. Their next episode, sorry.
You know, what we didn't do today was take the front wheel off so you got the powder coated.
Right. So the goal is to get the front wheel off next week so I can send them bitches off to powder coating because this shit's about to ramp up real quick.
From this point on, it'll go pretty quickly.
Well, a lot of custom stuff. Like we had like just the fact that to get the reservoir on the back on, there was a lot of shit to do just to get that one little thing on. So, wait, did I even say? I don't know if I said it, but we're gonna call that a day. Next week, we're going to adjust the shock to get the adjuster. Probably gonna be putting it on the clutch side, the left side of the bike. We're gonna be finishing up the grips, and we have a long list of stuff that we are going to, literally looking at it right now. Stuff's gonna start going on real quick.
Okay. So you don't want to show anybody the exhaust until it's ready to go on, huh?
They can't tell.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, I know.
I wouldn't either.
You gotta tease
I'd be like,
them.
ah, check it out. Woo!
I know. Look, you guys can see it right now. It's a box with freaking peanuts in it.
It's a big styrofoam block.
Yeah, it's for weight addition.
So guys, that's gonna be the end of this episode. If you like this episode, make sure to hit the like button and check out the Patreon page if you haven't already. And if you enjoy the build, help support it and make it something even cooler. Me and Brian are talking about season 3 already, and might be a little interesting. Anyway, guys, I'm Chaseontwowheels. That is Brian, aka not the brain, but I always want to say like Brian, aka the brain. Brian, aka brain. Brian's done. Alright, thank you guys for watching this point in the video, and I will see you on the next one. Later. Brian, you got anything for the outro crew? The peeps that watched this entire fucking video? These guys have sat through an hour's worth of my bullshit.
I hope you enjoyed all the little fiddly stuff. Like, you know, it's kind of oddball to have to make little brackets and shit like that.
Dude, I'm still fucking psyched over that bracket.
I kind of miss doing that shit, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've worked in a place before. I was there for quite a few years where it was kind of a make it work type of place. And I did a lot of that building of bracketry, and like personally I've stripped down calipers and painted them myself, and taped off brake rotors and just painted the insides of them.
Yeah.
And I've done a lot of that stuff over the years, and I kind of miss doing some of that stuff.
Regardless, fam, season 3 gonna be real cool. We will see you guys on the next one. Oh god, Brian's playing with things. Okay, bye.